Hello everyone, I am Dr. Preeti Khulbe and today I am going to tell you about review of regulatory affairs and worldwide regulatory bodies. So in previous videos we have discussed about in general introduction related to the regulatory affairs and regulatory bodies of different countries. So if you want to know the detail about the introduction of this introduction of regulatory bodies, what is regulatory affair department, what is the role of regulatory affair, what is the role of regulatory affairs personals, what are the rules and regulations related to the different regulatory bodies, so you can visit my previous videos. This is the third video in the series of regulatory affairs. Okay, in first video of this regulatory affair we have discussed about general introduction related to the regulatory affairs and as well as role and responsibility of regulatory affair personals and the need of regulatory affair department. In our second video we have discussed about the regulatory agency or regulatory affair of a regulatory agency which is there in the US, that is US FDA, as well as we have started the regulatory agency of Europe, that is EMA, that is European Medicine Agency. So this we have covered in our second video. So now in this video we are starting this video. First of all, learning objective. So upon completion of this unit, the students will be able to learn about various considerations related to regulatory affairs. So as we have discussed that regulatory affair is a very we can say important important element of pharmaceutical industry. We have discussed in our previous video that regulatory affair is essential for all the pharmaceutical, all the health related products, we can say health related industries, like it includes the pharmaceutical sector as well as cosmetic sector, the medical devices, the veterinary products, all are comes under the health industry, and all are regulated by the regulatory department or regulatory affairs. So this regulatory affair, the role of regulatory affair is basically to control the safety and efficacy of the products, either it is a cosmetic product, it is a veterinary product, or it is a pharmaceutical product, or in other category which is included. Okay, so all these things which is related to the general consideration of regulatory affairs you will came to know after the completion of this whole unit. Second is know the legal issues related to the regulatory bodies. So why regulatory body is so essential, and what are the bodies which are there, or what are the legal departments, legal issues are there related to the regulation in different countries. This also we will learn in this unit. Okay, for example, we have discussed that in US FDA is there, in Europe European medicine agency is there, EMA. Okay, similarly in Australia TG is there. So there are multiple regulatory bodies. So you will came to know after the completion of this unit. Next is general consideration about INDA and NDA. So INDA is basically investigational new drug application, and NDA is new drug application. So we will also discuss about the INDA and NDA in detail in this unit. So you will came to know about why NDA is important, when we have to file the INDA, not NDA. So all these, when the NDA is required, when INDA is required. So all these things we will you will came to know after the completion of this unit. Next is learning outcomes. So on successful completion of this unit, the students will be able to know about the role of regulatory affair department. Okay, we have already discussed this topic that in all the all the healthcare industries, regulatory affair department is essential. But in in India, the companies which are having a very small scale production, they may not have the regulatory affair department. But if the company is having the good brand name and good manufacturing capacity, so they should hire the regulatory affair personnel or for their regulatory affair department, because regulatory affair department, if you have the regulatory affair department, so it will be benefit for the company, because it will reduce the time of the new drug basically to reach to the market. Okay, so that is the role of regulatory affair department. Now next is the responsibilities of regulatory affairs. Okay, so what are the responsibilities which are there in the regulatory affairs? So when we talk about the responsibilities, so it is essential that every regulatory affair person should know the responsibility of it. For example, the main responsibility or main role of regulatory affair department to get the marketing approval, as well as to control the safety and efficacy of the of the product. So main responsibility is marketing authorization. So that means the all the agencies, for example, if we want to if we have developed the product in India, in India, and if we want to market our product in Australia, so the regulatory affair department or regulatory affair person will first satisfy all the requirements, or they they'll prepare all the documents related to the approval of the TGA, because TGA is there in the Australia, the regulatory agency. So then only we can get the TGA approval. So the responsibility of our regulatory affairs is very vast, and the role of regulatory affair person starts from the beginning. That is when the thought of no product comes in in the person's mind, then from there the regulatory affair person's role is started, and the role ends when the consumer consumes the medication. That is after the post marketing also, when the product reaches to market. After that also, post marketing also, the regulatory affair person role is there. So that means it has a role in each and every step, and regulatory affair person guides the manufacturing chemist related to the development of the related to the technical, as well as the the legal issues related to the product development. Okay, so there are number of responsibilities also there, and we have already discussed this in our last unit, so last video. So after the completion of this unit, you will also came to know about the responsibilities of regulatory affairs. Now next is all about the regulatory requirement or regulatory body. You will came to know after the completion of this unit. So as I have discussed that in the last video, we have discussed about the we have started about the EMA, that is European Agency, and that is EMA, that is European Medicine Agency, which is a regulatory body in Europe. So in this only we have discussed that there is EMA, which guides which is essential for the approval of European market. Okay, so now member state of the European Union. So what are the states there in the European Union? So European Union is a very big union. So here you can see the list of European Union states are given, like Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Cyprus. So similarly, there are multiple, like Ireland is also there, Spain is there, Sweden, United Kingdom. So all are there. Italy is there, Latvia is there. So all are there in these are the members state of the European Union. So you can see all the members with the with their year of becoming this member state are given in the list. So these are the member states of the European Union. Now, structure of European Medicine Agency. Now, EMA we have discussed in the last lecture that EMA is there. EMA is the regulatory agency of the Europe, and we have discussed there are multiple members or multiple member states are there in the European Union. So, structure of European Medicine Agency, that is EMA, is given. So, first is the executive director. Okay, executive director is the main head of this European Union. After that, there are EMA permanent. There are some permanent members in a EMA, and there are some experts appointed members. Okay, so the permanent member includes the exclusive director. Okay, after the exclusive director, there is a communication and networking department is there. Okay, other than that, human medicines development and evaluation department. There are certain departments and under the executive director, and all the departments head are the persons or staff member of EMA. Okay, or permanent staff members of EMA. Like in this, the communication and networking is there, head is there. The human medicines development and evaluation head is there. Then patent health protection is there. Patient health protection is there. After that, veterinary medicines and inspections controller is there, and administration head is there. So all these departments, there are in the under the executive director, there are 5 departments in the EMA. First one is communicating and networking, HMDE, then PHP, then VMI, as well as administration. Okay, now these are the EMA permanent staff members. After that, there are some expert appointed members of EMA. In this, the first is the CHMP, that is Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use. So this committee head is there as a member of, actually all the things which are written here in this, the head of all the committees are the member of the EMA. Okay, so CHMP is the Committee for Medicinal Product for Human Use. Then CVMP is their Committee for Medicinal Products for Veterinary Use, because that the product which are from the medicinal product, basically pharmaceutical products which are having the which are used for the humans are comes under the EMA. Approval is required with the EMA. So the CHMP head, that is Committee for Medicinal Products for Human Use head, is there as a member. Similarly, the veterinary product also can under into the EMA. So that means the CVMP, that is Committee for Medicinal Products for Veterinary Use, is also used, head is there. Next is COMP, head is there. COMP means Committee on Orphan Medicinal Products. So the head is also there with the COMP. Then HMPC, that is Committee on Herbal Medicinal Products. So HMPC, Committee on Herbal Medicinal Products, are also the head of CHMP is also there in the EMA. Then CAT, actually the CAT, Committee for Advanced Therapies, are there in the are also the head of Committee of Advanced Therapies are there in the EMA. PDCO, that is Pediatric Committee, head of Pediatric Committee is also there in the in the structure of EMA. Then head of PRAC, that is Pharmacovigilance and Risk Assessment Committee, head is there in the EMA. So all these committees, that is 7 committees are there, in which the head of these 7 committees are the member of European Medicine Agency. And the CHMP is there, CVMP is there, COMP, HMPC, CAT, PDCO, PRAC is all are there in the European Medicine Agency. Next is CHMP. CHMP is the Committee for Human Medicinal Products. CHMP. So the CHMP, if we talk about the composition of CHMP, so in this the chairman is there and vice chairman is there. Okay, so one person is chairman, Dr. T. Salmonson is the chairman of this committee, but it may change time to time, as well as there is some vice chairman may also be there. Then 27 MS plus NOIS, that is EA countries, 22 languages, working language European nation, and one scientific experts in this, one scientific expert member nominated by each each MS, that is a member of state, and one alternate. So this is the thing, that in this chairman, vice chairman is there. Other than that, the 27 MS members should be there, that is the member of state members. Okay, then EA countries, say we European Union authority countries are also involved here, and the one scientific expert member should be nominated by each member of state, and one alternate member is there. One scientific experts member from the NO is there, okay, national organization, and IS and one alternate, that is observer, is there. 5 co-opted members as appointed by management board, and 3 years mandate renewable are there in the CHMP. So this is about the CHMP, that is Committee for Human Medicinal Products. So all these things are there. Now what are the CHMP main task and responsibilities? So if we talk about the main task and responsibilities of CHMP, so there are multiple things are given, like delivering of opinions to the European Commission. So this is the major task we can say done by the CHMP, that is it delivers the opinion to the European Commission. Now what type of opinion they are delivering is the on new medicinal products, variation, renewals, or line extension. That is, for example, if we are making any we are developing, or we are developing basically a new product, new medicinal product, as well as we are involved in some type of variation we are doing. So we have to, so the CHMP can deliver the opinion related to this to the European Commission. Next is on arbitration or referral procedures. So in any type of referral procedures or arbitration, there is a need of delivering opinions related to European Commission. Next is the advertising on journal, European Union guidelines and policies. So if there are journal guidelines if there are certain general guidelines related to the European Union or certain policies, so they can, CHMP can advise on it. Okay. Next role of CHMP is scientific advice and guidelines to companies. So they also they also give the scientific advices related to the scientific things, as well as the guides to the companies. Now the opinions on compensate use of member of states as well as contributions to ICH processes, ठीक है, and you know it has also contributed on ICH processes, that is related to the stability testing, international conference on harmonization, okay, ICH. So they also contribute in the ICH processes. Then establish working parties like SAGs and expert groups, so they can also working on the, or we can say establishing the working parties and delivering opinions to WHO. So they also deliver their opinion to the WHO, that is World Health Organization. Okay, so all these are tasks related to the CHMP. So main responsibilities and tasks: it deliver the opinions to the European Commission, it advises the journal things related to the European Union guidelines and policies, scientific advices, guidelines to companies, opinions on compensate use of member of states, and contribution to ICH processes, and it establishes the working parties, SAGs and expert groups. It delivers the opinions of WHO. Yeah, so the next is working party constellation. So if we talk about the working party constellation, so QSL is there, QSL standards evaluation of medicines are there. Okay, other than that, CHMP is, CHMP has many roles, like it has QWP, SWP, BWP, all roles are there. Okay, that these are related to the different we can say departments, like pharmacogenomics is there, radiopharmaceuticals is there, gastroenterology department is there. So all the heads of all the departments are the working parties for the CHMP. Okay, urology department is there, like vaccines related things, pharmacokinetic studies, if something is like somewhere is having, so these all are related to the CHMP, that is CHMP are involved in all the areas. Okay, either it is a neurology area, it is a psychiatric area, it is a diabetic area, oncology area. So in all the areas, this the SCHMP role is there. Okay, blood products, you can see here blood products if there, so the role is there. Okay, now next is the CHMP we have discussed. Next committee is the COMP, that is Committee for Orphan Medicine. So Committee for Orphan Medicine Products, CHMP, Committee for Orphan Medicine Products. So the composition of this is, one is chairman is there or chairperson is there, and vice chairperson is there. Okay, so the chairperson is the Dr. Westermark, and it may change also. So other than that, 3 patient organization as well as 3 EMAs are there involved in this. We can say it has a very specific composition. One chairperson is there, as we see in the CHMP there is a huge composition, but in this the specific members are there, like composition where there is only chairman, vice chairman, member state of one member of from the MS, that is the member of state, then 3 representative from the patient organizations, and 3 EMA representatives are there. Now similarly, the composition of PDCO, that is pediatric committee. So the composition is in this also, one chairperson is there, one vice chairperson is there, plus five CHMP members are there in this. CHMP members, we have discussed about CHMP. So 5 CHMP members are also there, and 1 member from the MS not yet represented by member appointed by CHMP. Okay, so this is different. 1 member from the MS and 3 representative patient organization plus 3 representative healthcare professionals. So this is main composition of PDCO. Okay, so these all are make the EMA. Okay, all these are members of EMA, but EMA में different committees are involved. So we are discussing about these committees basically. Now registration in Europe post November 2005. 3 European systems. Okay, so before registration from in post November 2005, there is 3 European systems. One is centralized procedure, second is the mutual recognition procedure, and third one is the decentralized procedure. Okay, centralized procedure is basically via EMA. You can do the registration via EMA, and mutual recognition procedure is there one, and another one is decentralized procedure is there. So EU centralized procedure, so European Union centralized procedure, legal basic is regulation number is given and also established EMA. ठीक है, principle of this European Union is single application, evaluation, single authorization is there. This is the main principle related to the European Union centralized procedure. Direct access to all European Unions, that is 27 MSs plus Norway, Iceland and Liechtenstein is there. Direct access to these. This is the main centralized procedure principle. European Union centralized procedure principle is there. Now if we see the scope, so scopes is it is compulsory for centralized procedure is compulsory for biotech, that is recombinant DNA, gene expressed proteins, hybridoma and monoclonal antibodies, new active substances in specific therapy areas like AIDS, cancer, neurodegenerative disorders, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, other immune deficiencies, viral diseases. So all these are the compulsory for the European Union centralized procedure is compulsory for all these things. Basically we can say the novel biotech procedures as well as specific therapy areas and the orphan drugs also. For orphan drugs also the EU centralized procedure is required. Okay, compulsory. Now optional for there are 3 procedures we have discussed. So compulsory procedure is not essential, centralized procedure is not compulsory for all. It is optional for something like any other new active substances, that is like other than the orphan drugs, other than the drug used for specific therapy areas or biotechnological procedures. So other than that it is optional. Scientific significant innovation, that is therapeutic, scientific or technical thing is there in the interest of patients at community level. Generic of centralized reference products may use CP or MRP or DCP. Okay, so for all these things it is the EU centralized procedure is optional. Now European Union, if we talk about the European Union, so it driven an option and adoption of the decisions by the EU licensing. In this, EMA and CHMP are involved. In CHMP, there are one per member state member is there, plus 5 co-opted members. Each MS has an alternative member. सो 5 से तो होंगे 1 पर मेंबर तो होंगे, अदर देन दैट 5 को-ऑप्टेड मेंबर्स होंगे, अल्टरनेटिव मेंबर्स होंगे नॉट द सेम. ओके, सिमिलरली EM एंड दीज ऑल आर द रिपोर्टर्स एंड co-reputers and the scientific evaluators like experts, opinion and assessment reports and working parties are involved in the CHMP. If we talk about EMA, so project management and coordination, project manager along with the coordination are there in the as a member of EU Commission. Other than that, some industries are involved, like applicant and MAH industry are involved in this. Now, the procedure for evaluating medicinal products and granting marketing authorization. So, how we can evaluate the medicinal procedures as medicinal products, and how we can grant the marketing authorization. This is an important thing related to this. So, the European system for the authorization of medicinal products for human, the European system for the authorization of medicinal products for human and animal use was introduced in January 1995. It is so late. So in European system, it is authorization is basically related to the medicinal product is started from the January 1995. So as we discussed that there are 77 से यहाँ पे start हो गया था, तो यहाँ 99 में start हुआ है. So it is so late, we can say, and it has the objective of ensuring that safe, effective and high quality medications could quickly be made available for the citizens across the European Union. The European system offers several routes for the authorization of medicinal products. So basically the main aim or basic aim are same for all, that is the safe and effective and high quality medications reaches to the patients. This is the main aim, and it has several routes which are there. Now, centralized procedure, as we discussed that there is one centralized procedure. Okay, so what is the centralized procedure? So the centralized procedure, which is compulsory for products derived from the biotechnology or orphan medicinal products, and for the medicinal products for human use which contains an active substances authorized in the community after 20th May 2004 date of entry into force of regulation, and which are intended for the treatment of AIDS, cancer, neurodegenerative disorders or diabetes. The centralized procedure is also mandatory for the veterinary medicinal products intended primarily for the use as performance enhancers in order to promote growth or increase the yields from the treated animal. Applications for the centralized procedure are made directly to the European Medicine Agency and lead to the granting of a European marketing authorization by the Commission, which is binding in all the member states. Okay, so this is very interesting. What is the central procedure? सबसे पहले centralized procedure. So centralized procedure is what? It is a compulsory procedure. We can say compulsory product. Some products it is compulsory, and for some it is optional. So we have already discussed it. It is compulsory for what? The biotechnological products, the orphan medication, the medication which are used for the treatment of specific diseases like cancer, neurodegenerative disorder, diabetes, cancer means AIDS. These many medication, we can say the serious medications के लिए भी we can use it, and it is also used for the veterinary medication. And in veterinary it is basically in veterinary medication it is there that the veterinary medication भी उस type की medication it is mandatory for जिसके लिए which is used for the enhancement of the परफॉर्मेंस वी कैन से इन्हांसर और यील्ड. फॉर एग्जांपल आप काऊ को अगर कुछ ऐसी मेडिसिन दे रहे हो जिससे उसका क्या मिल्क प्रोडक्शन बढ़े, सो दिस इज़ अ टाइप ऑफ परफॉर्मेंस इन्हांसर. तो इस तरीके से परफॉर्मेंस इन्हांसर है या फिर इंक्रीज यील्ड ज़्यादा करने के लिए आप हैंड्स को आप कुछ ऐसा मेडिसिन दे रहे हो जिससे उनके क्या बेबीज़ ज़्यादा हों. तो उसके लिए क्या है आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, उसकी वो भी क्या है इसके अंदर आता है. दैट इज़ फॉर दिस द सेंट्रलाइज प्रोसीजर इज़ कंपलसरी. नाउ व्हाट यू हैव टू डू फॉर द सेंट्रलाइज प्रोसीजर फॉर द अप्रूवल ऑफ दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग्स, you just have to make made an application and you just make you just submit the necessary documentation along with the application to the European Medicine Agency. That is directly you have to submit it to the EMA, and EMA then provide you the marketing approval in the European market, and it is commissioned for all all the states, member states. Okay, so this is all about the centralized procedure, that you just have to make a document with the application and you have to send it to the EMA, and EMA will give you the certification, provide you the certification of the approval of the marketing for the European market, and you can then it is applied or it is binding in all member of state. Now what is the MRP and DCP? So the mutual MRP is represented by the mutual recognition procedure, whereas DCP is decentralized procedure. Now the mutual recognition procedure is which is applicable to the majority of conventional medicinal products and is based on the principle of recognition of an already existing national marketing authorization by one or more member states. So basically mutual recognition procedure is the conventional procedure. We can say it is for the majority of conventional medicine जो भी होती है इनके लिए it apply the MRP is applied, and it is basically the thing that it is based on the principles of recognition and already existing national marketing authorization done by the more of the member states. Now the decentralized procedures, which was introduced with the legislative review of 2004, is also applicable to the majority of conventional medicinal products. So decentralized procedure, that is we have discussed that in 2004's legislative review the centralized procedure is there, but for in some cases it is also introduced applicable for the majority of conventional medicinal products. And through this procedure, an application for the marketing authorization of the medicinal product is submitted simultaneously in the several member states, one of them being chosen as a reference member state. At the end of the procedure, national marketing authorization are granted in the reference and in the concerned member state. So that is in the decentralized procedure you have to file for the marketing authorization in the specific member state only. Okay, we have discussed that there are 27 member states. So in a specific member state, if you want to apply for, you can apply the decentralized procedure, and also you can apply this decentralized procedure with this procedure more than one, that is several member states के लिए you can apply for this. Okay. Now the questions related to this is the first question is related to regulatory affairs is CHMP main task and responsibility not includes. So CHMP main task and responsibilities not include is the first one is advising on general European Union guidelines and policies. Second is scientific advice and guidelines to companies. Third one is opinions on compensate use of MSs and marketing advice. So D answer is correct, that is CHMP main task and responsibilities not include the marketing advice. Next is registration in Europe post November 2005 not involve the centralized procedure, the mutual recognition procedure, decentralized procedure and recommended procedure. So that is D answer is correct, recommended procedure. So registration in Europe post November 2005 not involve the recommended procedure. Next is steps of the centralized procedure involve pre-submission to the application, scientific evaluation, decision making process and all mentioned. So C decision making process is correct, that is steps of the centralized procedure involve decision making processes. After that, what is COMP in terms of regulatory affairs? So COMP is Committee for Orphan Medicinal Products, Center for Orphan Medicinal Products, Consumer for Over-the-Counter Medicinal Products, or Committee for OTC Medicinal Products. So the answer A is correct, that is COMP represents the Committee for Orphan Medicinal Products. Next is pre-submission to application of the centralized procedure involve 180 days, 120 days, 140 days, 160 days. So answer B is correct, 120 days, that is pre-submission to application of the centralized procedure involve 120 days. B. Next is reference member state related to European systems not include selected by the applicant, has to prepare the assessment report, acts as central point between MS and MAH, selected by the government. So D is the right answer, that is members reference member state related to European systems not include the members selected by the government. Next is CMS related to the European Union is concerned member state, committee member state, constructed member state and committee member state. So that is A is correct, that the concerned member state is the correct answer. CMS related to European system is concerned member state. Next is steps of the centralized procedure involved the pre-submission to application, scientific evaluation, decision making process and all mentioned. So C is the correct decision making process, that is steps of the centralized procedure involved decision making process. Next is RMS related to the European system is reference member state, related member state, retired member state and relevant member state. So answer A is correct, that is reference member state. So RMS related to European system is reference member state. Next is RMS approval takes 290 days, 210 days, 190 days and 162 days. So answer B is correct, that is 210 days. RMS approval take 210 days is the right answer. So thanks for your attention. So we have in today's lecture we have discussed about the we have discussed in detail about the regulatory authority and regulatory worldwide regulatory bodies. In today's video we have specifically specifically explained by the EMA, that is the European Medicine Agency, which is a regulatory body of Europe. So in this we have discussed about that. If you want in detail about the guidelines related to the US FDA or United States Food and Drug Administration, so you can watch my previous video. And if you want a detail related to other countries regulatory bodies, so you can see my next video. And also I have made a video on the regulatory affairs journal introduction, so you can also go for my first lecture of regulatory affair related to the introduction. So thanks for watching.